Things changed for the Toronto Raptors. They changed big time. Yesterday, it was announced the team had been sold to Maple Leaf Gardens Limited, and today the Damon Stoudamire trade finally happened, and it's caused a ripple effect. Head coach Darryl Walker announced his resignation from the team this afternoon. Butch Carter has been named as an interim replacement. Stoudamire has been traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. Along with Stoudamire heading west are Walt Williams and Carlos Rogers. In return, Toronto receives Kenny Anderson, Alvin Williams, Gary Trent, and 2 first-round picks. As well, Toronto receives an undisclosed amount of cash. Reportedly, Portland owner Paul Allen will pay the remaining $40 million on Anderson's contract. As for Stoudamire, he's happy to be moving on.
I'm just glad that, the whole situation is over. It's been a stressful month and a half for me, and to finally get everything over with, I'm just happy about that. The only thing I regret is I feel as through all this ordeal, I feel as if the city got shortchanged of what could have been in Toronto. That's the only thing that I regret. I met a lot of people in Toronto. I have good friends in Toronto, and to have to leave them, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard walking away from all of this, but at the same time, I got to move on and, make the best of my new situation. After what happened yesterday, it kind of unraveled, the pieces to the puzzle, so to speak. And I think that maybe if that was the way that the former owners were leaning from jump, they might have could have let people know that from jump, and maybe this whole situation could have been alleviated. There's a little sadness in me, but I think that all that boiled over about a month ago. It's been such a roller coaster emotionally. Thinking you were traded, then not getting traded, then 2 days ago thinking I was traded, then not getting traded. So I'm just just happy that it's all over.
Like Stoudamire, most Raptor observers are happy to see the soap opera over, but as Gino Reda reports, team management knows Stoudamire's departure leaves some big shoes to fill.
If I had gone into the summer with the possibility of losing Damon without any compensation at all, this really would have set this franchise back years.
Icons have come and gone in this city. People forget that. What they ultimately look at is, are we a winner? And what Glenn has done here is made moves that we think makes us a stronger team and moves it to our championship aspirations.
The Raptors will rebuild with Gary Trent, a 6'9" power forward in his 3rd year, and Alvin Williams, a 6'5" rookie shooting guard who's been a pleasant surprise after being a 2nd-round pick. However, the key to the deal is former All-Star Kenny Anderson. He was averaging 12.6 points and 5.4 assists per game for the Blazers, but he has clearly said he would refuse to report to Toronto if he was traded to the Raptors. So there's some speculation that the Raptors might try to swing another deal, possibly with the Knicks.
I'm not going to comment on those sorts of trades any more than I would have before. So, again, I'm going to treat Kenny Anderson fairly. I have had good conversations with his agent, and we'll go forward on that basis. I'm a guy that wants to be known as someone that treats people fairly, and I'm going to treat Kenny Anderson fairly. And I respect his opinion and his feelings because, like anyone else, to be traded to a new city like this raises some concerns and some personal issues, as well as the professional issues of, he's in a winning situation now. Hey, that's why we want a guy. We want a guy that wants to play in a winning situation, and that's why we want a guy like Kenny Anderson.
The other big announcement was the resignation of head coach Darryl Walker. Grunwald said that the 2nd-year coach was frustrated by the Damon Stoudamire situation, and speculation about Walker's departure was building for a long time. He'll be replaced by assistant coach Butch Carter for the rest of this year. With Damon Stoudamire, Darryl Walker, and Isaiah Thomas all gone, the Toronto Raptor organization is now officially rebuilding. They're also reprinting. You see, the Raptors just sent out 100,000 of these with Darryl Walker and Damon Stoudamire's faces plastered all over them to promote the new Air Canada Center. So they're rebuilding, reprinting, and they're going to have to get set to do some repainting as well. You see, because with Damon Stoudamire's departure, suddenly this mural in downtown Toronto is a little out of date. Gino Reda, TSN, Toronto.
Is this a good deal for the Raptors?
Well, Jim, I think it's a great deal for Toronto because it addresses some needs. One of the things that they really needed was a strong inside player. They get that with Gary Trent, and now they have a big guard, a young developing guard in Alvin Williams to go along with Doug Christie, and it may give some more time to some of the other guys. Tracy McGrady can develop a little, and Sean Respert might get some more time now as well.
Toronto Raptors select Damon Stoudamire from the University of Arizona.
From the day he arrived to the day he left, Damon Stoudamire's time in Toronto was rarely without controversy. Stoudamire was drafted 7th overall in the '95 draft. Not a popular choice among Toronto fans, but Isaiah Thomas was sure he picked the right man. And the man they call Mighty Mouse predicted a bright future for himself.
This is a great city, and you know, this is an organization that's definitely going to be good in the future. You know, the first year we might take a couple lumps, but eventually we're going to have a winner here. I'm going to try to make a name for myself, and by the time I'm through playing here, these fans will know who Damon Stoudamire is.
And it didn't take long to prove the critics wrong. Stoudamire became the franchise player in Toronto in short order, leading the team in points, assists, and minutes played. Ironically, it was all those minutes played that helped lead to the firing of Coach Brendan Malone, who wanted wins and realized Damon was his only hope. Stoudamire was an easy winner of the Rookie of the Year award to go along with his Rookie All-Star Game MVP, and things look rosy in Raptorland. Story was the same in 1996-97, carrying the weight of the franchise on his 5'10" shoulders. He led the team in points, assists, and minutes once again. But looming in the future, a decision on a long-term contract. Isaiah Thomas convinced Stoudamire to wait until after this season to re-sign, leaving open the chance Damon could walk at the end of the year. The motive behind that advice is now up for question. This season started with predictions of a playoff berth, but quickly it became a disaster. Loss after loss after loss, plus Isaiah Thomas's abrupt resignation led to frustration and increased rumors that Stoudamire wanted out.
As a player who has, you know, the option to leave, I definitely need to see some improvement, both you know, on the court and off the court, you know, because right now, like I said, it's just in total disarray. My next deal is going to be for the next 7 years, and I don't think I can take 7 more years of frustration.
And so ends the Damon Stoudamire era in Toronto, and fans here at Skydome, who for 2.5 years have thrilled to the antics of the guy they call Mighty Mouse, are now going to have to get used to seeing him in another uniform. And as Stoudamire moves on, there is some uncertainty hanging over the Toronto Raptors as a franchise. On the court, how do they deal without the leadership offensively of Damon Stoudamire? And in the sales department, will it be more difficult now to fill that new building, the Air Canada Centre, which opens in February of 1999, without a prime gate attraction like Damon Stoudamire? Brendan Connor, TSN, Toronto.